Hey guys, in this video I'll be recording myself removing my old and dusty components, and I'll be replacing them with brand new components. Hope you enjoy. Yo, so today I'm going to get all my parts from shipping from Newegg, and I'm basically going to redo my old computer. So this is my half 932 case right now. It's a full tower, so it's pretty big. Leg for comparison. Um, right now, it's got really old parts in it, CPU and graphics card. I guess the graphics card isn't too old, but we're gonna be taking out the motherboard, putting in a new one, new CPU, new graphics card, and an extra hard drive. But I gotta dust the thing out, so if I unscrew it real quick. It's crazy dirty. Sorry for the loud noise. It's crazy dirty in there right now. See all that? But I'm basically just gonna take it out, clean it out, and then later today, when the parts come in, I'll go ahead and just swap it out and also record it. So cool. So I went ahead and lifted up my case onto the table. I just have it on a mat. It's supposed to be used for like anti-static, but I'm just using it as just a mat so I don't scratch the table. I don't even have it hooked up to like a metal or anything. But screws off the thumb screws. It's supposed to be two, but I usually put one on because sometimes I open it a lot. Side panel comes off. Unplug the CPU fan or case fan because there's a huge fan on the side panel. I'm just gonna put it off the side. So we're gonna be replacing the motherboard. Graphics card is going. This is a GTX 760. My buddy gave it to me because he has a 970, I think, or something like that. I don't think the CPU cooler is gonna fit on the new. So I don't know if the sockets are like universal. But I guess I'll find out soon enough. But I'll be replacing that. If you notice, this 932 is the like grayish color, not the black one. So this is like one of the first ones that came out. So pretty old, but super awesome case. I will be putting a new hard drive in, so these three right here, I think you can even see my SSD, and that you can't see, it's just kind of just sitting in there. But yeah, I'm just gonna dust everything out and then make it ready for the new one. So at this point, I've taken off graphics card, placed it over here on the side. Super dirty. The RAM as well, I took those off. We got 4 of these. There's 2 GB sticks, so I only have 8 GB, but it's fine for now. Next, I'll probably take off the CPU cooler, clean that, and then remove the CPU as well. I'll probably actually just leave the CPU in there, no reason to take it out. And then just take off the motherboard, dust that off, and then start cleaning the case, because I want to get everything out of it. So I'll take out probably the hard drives and the disk drive, and I'm just going to dust everything out. So it'd be like brand new, yes. Take the CPU off, and I was like, I totally forgot that the thermal compound is probably going to stick the CPU to the thing, and that's exactly what it did, so there's the chip. But as you can see, it's just filthy. I've been bad, I haven't really been caring for it, but it's all going to get swapped out anyways, so yeah. Anyways, CPU's out of there, and the CPU cooler. Pretty simple with those AMD sockets. It was literally just a latch. Already unscrewed the power supply. You can't really see it, but it'll wobble. So I'm gonna take that out as well, or actually I'll probably just leave it in there, and actually start taking off the mounts for the motherboard. There's just several screws, along there. So I'll screw those with just a Phillips screwdriver, and then we'll just remove the motherboard here in a sec. Start at the bottom. I'm just gonna start at the bottom and work my way up. Times where I wish I had a magnetized screwdriver. I'm just using this dish over here for all my screws. Don't want to lose those. But I'm probably going to use them for the one that I get today. Cool, I think that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 bottom, 3 top, 3 mid. Yep, it's wiggling. So I'm just gonna slide this out. Hold it up. And there's the motherboard. Probably holding it wrong, but whatever. It's a really old one. The reason I got it way back when is because it has these cool little dials down here. There we go, focusing. And you can just overclock it on the fly with just that knob. It's pretty cool. But, so now I'll probably take out the hard drives. Pretty easy. But I think to do that, I'm gonna have to remove the back panel. So not only does this have a front side or side panel with a mirror on the other side, you can take it off. So I'll just do that now. Stand up. Oh, this thing's out. I'm just gonna remove this one. My dish is far. Oh, and be prepared for dust, because that's what you're gonna see on that other side. Yeah, so I did pretty shoddy on the cables, but we'll see if we can do that up. I don't have a modular power supply, so that's kind of the bad thing. So anything I don't use, I kind of just like throw in the back. But yeah, I'm gonna just unplug everything from my hard drives over here. Just power cables and SATA cables. My SSD is down there. Oh, my SSD is so dirty, it's funny. That's alright, it's whatever. I'm probably gonna have to cut these zip ties. I have a bunch of zip ties, so it doesn't matter. I'll just find scissors somewhere and take those off, and then we're almost ready to start dusting outside. I'm definitely not gonna dust this inside. Alright, so I'm just gonna hand hold you. But I've completely deboned it, no pun intended. So I take out the disk drive, all the hard drives, they're actually sitting right there. Just got a solid state and 2 just normal hard disk drives. Graphics card, RAM, CPU, motherboard, SATA cables. And I just put my power supply over here because it was just super dusty, but as you can see, it's just like tentacles. So the disadvantage for not having a modular power supply, they're a lot cheaper than they were back then, so probably would be the next upgrade is that or RAM. But it's just completely filthy. Look at all this dust in here. Ugh. So yeah, go ahead and get to cleaning that outside, of course. Ah! Finished cleaning everything. Let me zoom in. It's pretty dust free now. I have it on the tripod right now, so I don't want to walk over there. But I got the box just now. The UPS guy didn't even knock on the door. He just literally drove up, left the box at my front door, and walked away. But whatever. I mean, I was home, so no bigs. So I have that. We'll open that right now. So here's the processor. It's the i7. Let it focus. I believe in you. 4790K. There you go. So I got that. And there's the chip right there. I think those 6th gen CPUs don't come with coolers anymore, but that's just what I heard or read. This, I'm presuming, is the hard drive. And holy shit. Damn, that is But yeah, that's the hard drive. It's just a terabyte, Western Digital Blue edition. It's running low on space. I'd rather have things in multiple hard drives. And then the pretty box of the motherboard. This is going to be a black and white motherboard if you haven't already told or see if it's right here at the top. Yeah, it is. So it's in plastic. But as you can see, it's going to be black and white. See. Pretty cool. I haven't shown you the graphics card yet. But that is over here. So the graphics card we're using is the R9 390. It's pretty big, but I mean it'll definitely fit in the case. This case is huge, so yeah, no problem. Plenty of space.
Know about this shit you tried to pull. They hate attempted murder.
I'm just gonna do a little voiceover right now. Right in my hand I have the RAM, so I'm just gonna put that in. It's just gonna be 4 sticks, each of them are 2 gigabytes each, so in total it'll be 8 gigabytes. I think it's a lot easier to do this outside the case. I don't know, it's just me preference. I mean, not saying you can do it inside, because people don't take out their whole motherboard just to change RAM or upgrade their RAM. So you can definitely do it in the case. I just figured, it's out of the box right now, might as well do it right now. I just have it placed on an anti-static bag from the original box that it came in. And as you can see, it doesn't take too long. It's already all inserted. Just making sure it's all tight. Next, I'm going to go ahead and lift up that latch and start putting the CPU in. I think right here it took a little bit just because I was reading what the little black piece on it said, because I haven't changed my motherboard in 6 years. I've had the same parts forever. So I just didn't know what that was. And then right here we'll be unboxing the Core i7 4790K. And right there is the CPU itself, and you can see the contact for the CPU. So my other CPU, the Phenom X2 955, I mean, actually had pins when you looked at it from the close-up view earlier in this video, but as you can see with this one, the CPU just has contacts, really. And I'm actually just trying to figure out which way it goes, so I went ahead and cut it out a little. But there's a little kind of circle or triangle on one of the corners, and that just corresponds to the other circle on the actual motherboard, so it gives you a little guide on how to do it. And right now, we're just going to put the CPU cooler on. Fairly easy. Don't need to install any mounts or anything. But what does need to be done is just place the 4 little things that I'm pushing down. But just push them down all the way.
I have the CPU and the RAM installed, as well as the CPU cooler on the CPU. Next, probably can just go ahead and mount it onto there. I'm gonna do the graphics card after. I just dropped an old bracket. Don't need it. But while I have this up here, let me go ahead and just show you. Show you. So I have the CPU, PCI slots. Right there. clear up that. I went ahead and laid down the case. The mounts for the ATX motherboard, that's just the form factor. Exactly the same as this new motherboard, so this is going to remain, you know, three right here. 1, 2, 3, 1. You can't probably see this one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 9 mounts for the motherboard. Basically, just put the motherboard on top of those 9 mounts, and then you screw it down. And I'm just going to use the same screws I used from when I took it off. So let me go ahead and put the motherboard over here. I'm just gonna grab it by the CPU cooler because I know that's not gonna come off. And if it does, I'll be really embarrassed. But let me just go ahead and slide it. Oh, whoops. I just realized I have the old IO shield. Just gonna pop that off. Perfect.
Right now, I'm just screwing in the other screws that I took off from the previous motherboard using the same positioning and same screws. But I'm just gonna go cut it short right about here.
I'm going to place the graphics card in there. There we go. What the back looks like. There's the front. Oh, listen to it, listen to it. Wait a minute, where's the good spot? Here we go. There it is. I want to say it's about like maybe 11 inches, 10, 11 inches. I'm bad at measurements. You can probably just look them up online. XFX R9 390 ATI, of course. And it's going to go right here, and the PCI Express 3.0 slot. Just got to take this rubber off. You don't really want to touch the contacts or the pins. That's why they come with these rubber guards. But I mean, if you do, you're not the first one to do it. I know I've done it plenty of times. So here we go. Just make sure these are over there. There it is. That's it. Nice and secure. We're gonna go ahead and flip this up. And I'll take you off a tripod here in a second. So here we go. Just gonna zoom in and explain what we're seeing. So right there is the graphics card. The red is the memory. CPU cooler. I'm gonna put the power supply in right now. Basically it just goes right there, and I screwed on in the back. I'm just gonna tighten the tripod right here. At this point, I have the motherboard installed, the power supply is installed. I need to hook up the disk drive as well as the other hard drives around there. Disk drive goes up here. But after that's done, then I'll start figuring out where I want all these cables to go. And again, if you can see, it sucks when you have a power supply like this and not a modular one, because all the cables are plugged into the power supply, and if you don't use them, they would just waste space. So I'll go ahead and get started on putting those hard drives in. The Samsung one right here. The way it works. Goes in this slot here. Down. Boom. Another one. It's a new hard drive. Put on the brackets. This is going to be the Blu-ray drive. Just going to be sticking that in. So I'm going to go ahead and work on the cabling off camera, just because it can get pretty, I don't know, I might be indecisive. But what I need to do, I need to hook up the CPU power from the power supply. It goes right here. It's a 8-pin connector. I need to hook up the actual power for the motherboard, which goes right here, 24-pin connector. The graphics card itself is an 8-pin and a 6-pin graphics card. We'll need 8-pin and a 6-pin. Yep, those two right there. 4 SATA connectors there. And up here, leave just one. Yo, so finished my build. Just wanted to take a picture before I turn it on. Let me go ahead and just... I'm using my prime lens, so I have to focus manually. Just because the automatic one sounds really terrible. But everything's in there. I got the graphics card, power supply, my SSDs right there, and 3 other hard drives. Let's see. But yeah, we're pretty much ready to turn it on. So cool. Alright, so I did get it up and running successfully. It's down there. It's really strange because my old motherboard used to have lights inside, but as you can see, it's just completely dark because there's no lights on the motherboard or anything. So the only way I can tell it's on is, you know, monitors are on or those lights down there. But with that said, everything seems to be working all right. Obviously, the resolution is going to look pretty crappy. As you can see, it's huge, but that's just due to no drivers being installed. Again, you know, new motherboard, new CPU, new graphics card. I got to install everything. So, but we're good. We're on. Successful hardware change. Now it's just all the software stuff. Woo.